Hello my angels, welcome back to my YouTube channel. I am home and I couldn't be happier. I feel like it has been a bit of a whirlwind, to be honest with you. Obviously going a gazillion miles an hour in Mallorca, home for literally a heartbeat, and then heading off to Belgium. But I am back, and I'm back for the next week or so. We have one more trip. We're actually heading to Italy, to Puglia, at the end of next week, but I've got home. It is officially September. It is cozy season and I couldn't be happier. It's almost like back to school vibes, all snuggly, cozy, pumpkin spiced lattes. And in some ways I treat September almost like when I was younger, heading back to school. It really is a little bit of a reset for me. Rethink, re-strategize, sort of really zone in and focus on what are the short-term goals, what are the long-term goals, am I on track for the rest of the year, and if I need to rethink certain things, really hone in on certain things. And that really spans to every single part of my life, whether it's personal, relationships, career, everything, home, friendships, all of that jazz. God, that's absolutely terrifying, talking of friendships. My bestie is calling me. But I shall call her back because I know that's a long one. You know, you have those certain girlies. Actually, you guys met her, Nikki, in America, in the States. I know what she's calling me about as well. I'm saying that we have one more trip. But I need to actually book my flights to go to New York for her bridal shower in October. But that's gonna be all like winter, autumn, cozy, almost Christmassy vibes. But yeah, as I was saying, I really treat the beginning of September as a full reset. And today I am home. We got back kind of around about mid-afternoon yesterday. I had a full organization afternoon. I even organized my knicker drawer. It's been one of those things that's been really, really irritating me. And as you know, I'm really rather an organized person. And my knicker drawer has been an absolute shambles. So I got everything out yesterday. Oh, sorry, my precious one. I got absolutely everything out yesterday. I organized it all. We color coordinated it. I got rid of all of this sort of random stuff that I've had on the side for ages, or empty bits and bobs in my bathroom. I have officially unpacked. And that's a big thing for me. I loathe living with suitcases. I don't know whether it's from my childhood, sort of always and forever on the move, or I just can't be dealing with suitcases. And actually, in all honesty with you, I didn't actually fully unpack from Mallorca when we got home and turned around for Brussels. But I've fully unpacked everything. Suitcases have gone to the attic and I couldn't be happier. And I kind of put a little bit of time in my diary to have the headspace to fully reset, have a moment of calm and tranquility, and like I said, a moment where I'm not stressing about everything else that needs to get done, and I can really focus on the last few months of the year. I know that's frightening, but take now as the opportunity to really think about the goals that you set yourself at the beginning of the year, and they might be small. And as I always say, celebrate the small wins. But what I'm going to do this afternoon, I'm actually going to use my new head plan journal, and I'm just going to do a bit of a brain dump, get everything out on paper. And also something that I think is so important is to always check back in with the goals that you set yourself at the beginning of the year. And you might do those quarterly, and I highly recommend that you do. And yeah, just take a little look back and figure out whether we were, you know, whether it was doable, and whether we're on track, what we need to do to ensure that we hit those targets. And you know, some of them we've absolutely smashed already. However, there are some that I'm slightly questioning. But just to kind of hone back in, and again, also on a personal level, from my health and wellness and my mental well-being, my relationships, my marriage, all of those sorts of things, I need to just have a little look and make sure that we are recentering ourselves. But anyway, I'm warbling on. I'm absolutely ravenous, and I'm gonna make myself a little bit of brunch. And I kind of feel like I feel like this is far too much information, but I am desperately constipated. Far too much information, just if you wanted to know. And everybody always asks me, it's probably one of the most asked questions on my YouTube channel, what do I eat in a day? Now, I think that is a rather dangerous subject to talk about for really rather obvious reasons, but I don't like to gatekeep, and I do like to share as much as I possibly can without it being triggering for people. With, you know, it goes both ways, and I don't think I've ever done an exact what I eat in a day, but I do try to be as honest as I can in terms of, you know, the lifestyle and what I do tend to eat and how I feel the best I possibly can. I really do look at my body like it's an engine, and I try and feed myself the best possible things to ensure that my engine works the very best it can do. And that really spans through everything, whether it's your sleep, whether it's your skincare, your energy levels. As women, we've got all of these hormones that we have to deal with. And now that I'm an old timer, now that I'm 30, I take it really seriously. And yeah, I would definitely go as far as say it. And I think it's such a difficult question to answer, because everybody says, oh, you know, how do I stay in the shape that I am? And it does have a lot to do with what I put in my mouth, what I eat, what I drink, how much I exercise. And yeah, I just kind of want to be able to share the things that I can. And it definitely goes without saying, the last couple of months, I have been off the rails, and I think it's so important to do so. So when I'm away, I do not restrict myself at all. Yesterday, I even had some, I think it was Burger King chicken nuggets. Would not recommend them, they are not healthy. But what I'm trying to say is that when I'm at home, I reset. I try and eat as lean and as clean as I possibly can. I drink celery and cucumber juice. I have fresh mint tea throughout the day. I do drink quite a lot of caffeine. I don't tend to eat gluten. I don't really even tend to eat carbs, which some people, you know, there are pros and cons to all of this. And I know my body now. I know how well it functions on a certain lifestyle. And I will never say that I am on any regime or on any diet. I try to stick to, keep saying it, a lifestyle and foods that make me feel good and that really helps me perform in the best possible way that I can. So when I'm at home, it's almost like resetting back to school. And before my wedding, I'm trying to actually make some brunch. Let me just go and wash my asparagus, and I'm going to come back and tell you all about it. There we go. Right, asparagus is washed. So as I was saying, before my wedding, a very good friend of mine introduced me to the Petronella Ravenshire book. It's called The Human Being Diet. I think it's named terribly because it's not really a diet, it's a lifestyle. And basically the book explains how our bodies were designed to function, literally back to being a caveman in terms of the food that you kill and the food that you grow. And it's all about protein and veg. There are certain rules, and I was just genuinely flabbergasted when I did it, and I really stuck to it. And I will go as far as to say it's really difficult to try to stick to it. but the way that it makes you feel is unbelievable. I felt like an absolute athlete. My brain, I was so sharp. I slept amazingly. My skin has never glowed better. And I just felt incredible. So I was so productive. And everybody always asks me, what regime are you on? What are you eating? What do you eat? What do you not eat? And I really, really do almost like pull back, and I just go back towards the human being diet. And I really don't stick to the rules now, but I do tend to just come back and I will have protein and veg 3 times a day, 5 hours in between, black coffee, water. I don't eat gluten, I don't eat grains. I try to cut back on sugar. I don't really drink alcohol during the week, and only really for special occasions. And to be honest with you, it's just been like a full-blown celebration and special occasions. So my body has had a bit of a battering in terms of all the food that I have consumed, because I have not held back on anything. Cake, paella, bread, oh, pasta, every single morsel I ate. But I come home and I reset. So I'm gonna make myself a really quick brunch. And I do I'm not a massive breakfast person. It has to be, I have to be somewhere really gorgeous, and breakfast has to be elite. So probably tend to be like if I was away or an amazing hotel, or we'd done like a gorgeous breakfast at home or something like that. So I do tend to wait until around about midday to actually eat. And I'm also not a massively sort of sweet tooth person early in the morning. So I'll probably tend to have like 2 boiled eggs or poached eggs or avo. I like to get my protein in the way of eggs. And then, you know, lunchtime can be like a whole tin of tuna and a massive salad. Dinner is not about, you know, the portions aren't that small, and trust me, I eat like a horse. And so yeah, I just kind of like stick to what I love and what I know my body loves. And at the moment, I feel like I really need it. I've got a really quite a sore tummy because I know that I need the Lulu. So bad. And today I'm just kind of taking a day to just get organized. And yeah, I can't wait to sit down with my head plan journal and just kind of like go through things. So I'm gonna do a little bit of mashed avo. I'm gonna do half an avocado, which is quite a lot. I'm gonna do some cherry tomatoes, delicious fine tomatoes. It's amazing if I actually end up with any on a plate, because I've eaten most of it before I've even put it on my plate. And I'm going to do some steamed asparagus and probably a couple of poached eggs on top. So I'm going to make that. Probably going to make another cup of coffee, and then I'm actually going to sit in the drawing room. It's kind of like a really peaceful, quite quiet area with such a busy household, lots of people coming in and out. And I just want to sit down and relax and just go through the rest of the year, what I really want to achieve, what I think we need to focus on, what I think we actually can pull back on. And yeah, it's going to be an epic rest of the year, but I have to make sure that we are achieving what we need to achieve. I always say, like, you are the author of your own book. You write the words on the paper, nobody else, and you have to make it happen. Anyway, this is not going to happen unless I make it. So I'm going to quickly make my brunch and I will see you guys in a bit. this is kind of like what a typical brunch looks like. So I've got my 2 poached eggs on a bed of asparagus. I've got a little bit of mashed avo, put a really lovely amount of olive oil in there, and some cherry tomatoes. So yum de la scrum. Gonna dig in. Bon appetit. Oh, I don't usually sit in here by myself, but as I was saying, it's kind of like one of those areas in the house where if you just want like a quiet moment to yourself, this is where to come to. I just find it so cozy and really rather calming. I feel like whenever I'm in here, it's sort of either we're hosting and entertaining and doing sort of drinks and canapes, maybe through the winter months. Oh, but I really feel like autumn is here. All the autumn dinner parties, hosting, Sunday lunches, roaring fires, all the tweed, all the autumnal colours. And I don't know, it's just a space where I feel like I can just have a little bit of me time. And actually talking of me time, like that was one of the biggest things in my personal goals and targets, that I wanted to put a little bit more me time into my diary. And I think life, so easy to do, and it happens to all of us. Life can just get really busy sometimes, and you can get like swept up and stressed out by really normal things. And my mum always has this saying that she says to me, whereby when life literally gets too much and I get overwhelmed, I get stressed out about really silly things that just don't matter. And of course, I'm so passionate about what I do that everything matters, and sometimes I just get caught up in the teeniest, tiniest little details because I do want it to be perfect. But sometimes I can feel myself like, my whole world is rushing. We're rushing from here, rushing there. There's so much to do, not enough time to achieve everything. And sometimes I let it boil over just a bit too much. And I'll be walking around the orchard screaming, I'm unstoppable, as always, barefoot, trying to ground myself. And my mother always says to me, Leonora, you are not saving lives. And in that moment, I get so furious because I'm like, you don't understand. It's so important to me, but actually she's so right. And it's infuriating because she's always right. And at the grand old age that I am now, I should have known way back when I was younger, that my mum is always right. And they always are. So yeah, I just sit here, and of course the last couple of months has been hectic. There's been so much to do, so much to achieve, so much to celebrate, so much to enjoy, so much to be grateful for. And sometimes I think you lose track of the goals that you set yourself. And as I said earlier, I think it's so important to just keep checking back in on your goals. And actually, I have all of our like company and business and empire, let's say, goals on my computer because I like to share them with the girls. I think, of course, we set ourselves targets, and within my business we have our own kind of little areas that we look after, and we set targets. And I last looked at this document in June. So I just like to know whether we're on track and whether, you know, the strategy needs to change a little bit in order to achieve those, or maybe I was being a bit, I don't know, over ambitious. But having a little look at this at the minute, I can safely say, holy smokes! Oh my gosh, this is insane. Wow. Wow. Okay, I feel like I'm sitting down with you guys before I'm sitting down with my girls, but Christ, we are smashing it. Okay, so we have, obviously with September, so September, October, November and December, we've got 4 more months to smash 2025. You know me, I am extremely driven, sometimes a little bit too driven. I am remarkably ambitious. You know, work ethic is part of my blood. I am trying to build something enormous, and the amount of man hours that go into it sometimes affect a lot of other things. But looking at this, yeah, we've got 4 more months, and I'm going to say that we're about 80 to 85%. We're there. And some of these targets and goals we've already smashed. Wow, that's amazing. Gosh, I'm so proud of my girls and what we've built. This is insane. That is very exciting. But I do also have things that we haven't quite yet achieved. And I think it's so important to say that that's okay. That's all right. And if there are goals that, you know, are not now a goal, that's okay too. I have those as well. And like I said, I think it's so important when goal setting and having intentions for the year, if those intentions change, that's amazing in itself, because at least you know what you do want. So I think when it comes to setting goals and intentions, like I always say, I think it's really important to have different headings and different columns. You write down what's really important to you, whether it's your career, and you know, you don't need to be an entrepreneur to have goals within your career. It might be you know, it might be a pay rise, or it might be a promotion, it might be you know, whether it's being personal, whether you go to the gym twice a week, whether a gym membership might be obtainable, or whether you want to do yoga at home on YouTube, or go to Reformer Pilates. And there were so many of those things that were in my goals and intentions that, to be honest with you, went out the window because I had so many other goals that needed my time and my focus. But once you achieve those, I think you've got to go back to like the bigger picture and be like, right, okay, I've smashed that. So actually now I do have time in order to do those things that I really wanted to achieve at the beginning of the year. And I think you also need to have a little look, like, what does your dream life look like? And you might not be able to live that right now. And I most certainly, I'm so lucky with the life I do have, so I think it's quite hard for people to look at my life and be like, well, how could you want to dream about something else? But I have a life that I dream about, and you know, my future that I dream about, and what I want that to look like. And I think something that I heard somebody say that really resonated with me, and that I try to do in my everyday life where I can and where it's feasible and possible, I try and show up as that person. And little by little, you become that person. You almost create that life that you want. And if you have all of these different headings and all of these different goals and all these different targets, that's unbelievable, and that's a massive step in itself. But the way to achieve that is then creating a strategy in order to make those big headings and those big goals happen. And what I mean by saying that is showing up in the everyday, doing those little things that's going to be working towards the bigger picture is going to help you achieve that goal. So fingers crossed I'm not talking a whole load of gobbledygook, but you're with me. And one of the things that really, really helps me is, of course, my Luxury by Leonora planner. I'm really proud of it, and I love it, and I appreciate we're now September, so you've only got a few more months to go if you did want to buy it. But if you have already bought it at the beginning of the year, go back to it. Go back to the goals, go back to the strategy. I'm looking at mine right now. There we go. And yeah, all of the things that I put myself, you know, put in at the beginning of the year within my planner, I think it's really, really special. I think, yeah, it works. It really, really does work. If you keep showing up, working hard, working your absolute arse off, and doing all of those things that you can, that's within your power, then yeah, I think there's something remarkably special about that. But anyway, one of the things that I'm very lucky to have recently acquired is, I showed this to you in my Mallorca vlogs, and this is not an ad at all. And of course I have my own planner, but I don't have my own like actual product planner. It is a digital planner, and I will leave all the details. If you're new to my YouTube channel, then I will leave all of the details to my digital Luxury by Leonora goals, targets and intentions planner in the description box. But if you are looking for something that is a product, something you can put your hands on and touch and fill out. Of course, you can actually print my planner off, but enough about my planner. We're going to talk about this beautiful one here, because a brand that I adore and love and have so much respect for is the Head Plan, with everything that they do. And as part of my birthday, we did a wellness morning, and all of my guests got this stunning the Head Plan journal. And I actually think the butter yellow has since actually sold out. So thank you so much for those of you who bought this. I know the brand will be literally over the moon. It does also come in other colours, so, and I definitely think that those will be in stock. But it's even down to like the teeny tiny details. It says, congratulations, by opening this box, you've taken the first steps in fulfilling your true potential, and we're so excited to go on this journey with you. It's all about personal development. And I just love all the quotes. You know what I'm like about my quotes. And it says, write it down and make it happen. It's everything. It's like our family motto, raise the bar. But without things like this that hold you accountable, how are you meant to do it? That's where I'm always like, you know, I hear about these incredible people that want to achieve this and want to achieve that and da 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 da. But if they didn't write it down and actually create a to-do list and a plan and a strategy in order to make it happen, how on earth do they make it happen? It doesn't just sort of drop in our laps. You have to work towards it and get it done. And I just love what the Head Plan have done with their journal. So I feel like it's like back to school stationery, new me. And I was definitely one of those kids at school where, you know, my new little Cath Kidston pencil cases, all my new little pens, new Clark's shoes, just went to school and had all these new bits and bobs that just felt like it was a new beginning, a fresh start, a new year where I could just smash it. And school was definitely not my strong suit, but it definitely, having things like this definitely made it easier, more beautiful, and much more of a pleasurable experience. So here we go. I am going to sit down and I am going to go through this, and I'm going to just write down a few bits and bobs and just have a bit of a brain dump. And you know, it's all about having like a vision board, having short-term goals, long-term goals. I feel like I'm really warbling on, guys, but you know, I think it's so important to, at certain times of the year, whether of course it's the beginning of the year, but mid-year and then September, all the kids are going back to school, so it's a perfect situation, the perfect moment to really reevaluate what's important and what you really want to spend your precious time on. So I'm going to sit here. I've got all of the sort of like career goals and targets on my computer, on my planner, and then I'm going to sit down and just have a little bit of fun. Like, it's always got such gorgeous things at the front, like this planner belongs to, and I want to, you know, write it down in really gorgeous handwriting. And actually, whether you've seen, I had bit naughty. I had like an almighty, so awful. I've told you that I'm constipated, and I've told you I had a big extraction yesterday of thy face. I don't know, I just had a little bit of congestion, a few little black cones. So whenever I have like a really big situation, and also any spots coming up or any spots threatening to come up, I am going to sit here. I'm going to sip on my gorgeous, I actually decided to go with a Black Beauty. It's a black currant, and I'm just going to put this on silent because I am busy. A black currant beauty, so it really helps with like balancing your womb, female hormones. It's a really uplifting, gorgeous cup of tea. And I'm going to kill two birds, one stone, and I'm going to pop my Omnilux contour face mask on. This, I always tell you guys, is my secret weapon, which it is. Fine lines, acne healing, depuffing, really helps with any of like the breakouts, and also any breakouts, like, you know, when you get those little bumps that feel quite sore and you're like, oh no, a spot is coming. Any sun damage, which I do get a little bit of pigmentation on the top of my forehead, and my Omnilux sorts it out. So I am going to sit here. I know I look completely ridiculous, but if we want to be beautiful, these are the things that we must do. And I'm going to get my Omnilux on. This is what I love the most. It's so easy to put on. It's so comfortable. I can get on with my day, whether I'm walking the dogs, making a cup of coffee, working, doing my goals, sipping my tea, and this literally comes everywhere with me. So I'm going to sit here. I'm not going to bore you guys to death with all of my goals and intentions, and I'm going to have fun with my gorgeous new head plan. And yeah, set some epic goals for the rest of the year. So let's do this. Just filling out my ritual, my morning rituals and my evening rituals. It's kind of just like planning out what in the most ideal world you would want to do. It's like my morning rituals, it's kind of like, talking of rituals, it's kind of literally like this. I just love the fact that, you know, it doesn't matter whether it is the morning or the evening, I can fit this into my absolute everyday. And whether it's in the morning, you know, I get up, I run downstairs, I take the dogs out for a walk, I feed them, I make my morning coffee. Or whether I spend the whole day, or whether I'm having meetings, Zoom meetings, filming something, getting ready for an event, or taking all my makeup off and having a moment before bed. It really is like the quiet luxury that I think is just so important, and the real luxury of having a moment to yourself. And I just think it's so special, because whether you are prioritizing taking a moment, writing down in your journal, or prioritizing taking 10 minutes out for you. Sometimes I actually pop my Omnilux contour mask on because I actually just need 10 minutes out, and it makes me take a moment for myself. And I think that in itself is one of life's luxuries, taking a moment for you. And what I love the most about my Omnilux contour is that, you know, I do live a very, very fast-paced and busy life, and it just fits seamlessly into whatever it is that I'm doing. And I just know that behind the scenes I can be getting on with whatever I need to be doing, and this is working its magic. And I really tailor it. You know, I say 10 minutes a day, I use it 3 times a week, and it is just 10 minutes a day, and it's working on any pigmentation, whether I've got fine lines, whether I've got any breakouts, whether I'm getting a vent ready, or if I'm selfishly just wanting to just relax for 10 minutes, read a book, fill out my journal. It is pure heaven. And with anything that I put on my face, I do my research, and I suggest that you guys do too. They are known as one of the leaders in the LED light therapy world. They have a multitude of different devices, from masks to blue light therapy to infrared therapy. They've got the face masks. It is FDA cleared. It works on fine lines. It reduces any puffiness, any redness. It really, really works on any spot scarring, or if you've had acne, it will work on your acne scarring. It really helps reduce the puffiness. It instantly like rejuvenates the elasticity of my skin, creating quite a plump but really, really radiant and quite glowy complexion in the morning. That's when I actually see the most results, is actually when I wake up in the morning the next day. I see that instantly, like if I've had a spot that might be threatening to erupt, it has instantly calmed it and reduced any of the redness around the spots. And I think it's just a remarkable device for the most amazing price point. It definitely goes without saying that LED light therapy devices are expensive, and I just think the price point of this is phenomenal when you take into consideration the results, I think it's amazing, and I feel very lucky and honoured to work with the brand, because I think the device itself is an absolute no-brainer. So I do have a discount code to share with you guys. You get 10% off at checkout. So I will leave the link in the description box along with all of the details on screen here. And if you click the link, shop through the link, it will give you 10% off at checkout. So I could not recommend this enough. And literally sitting for 10 minutes whilst you are journaling, writing down your goals, getting on with your jobs, you might be loading the dishwasher, having a gorgeous cup of tea or cup of coffee, you can get on with your day. Or it might be that one thing, and most of the time it's the same for me, it might be that one thing that it takes 10 minutes out of your day, that you just take those moments for you. I think that's so important, and that's definitely something that at the beginning of this year, that was in my goals and that was in my intentions, and I feel very happy and very excited to say that I have stuck to that. When I feel like I'm getting overwhelmed and anxious and stressed out about the ridiculous amounts that I need to achieve in a day, sometimes I just actually need to take 10 minutes out. Whether I come in here and take 10 minutes for myself, or go upstairs and sit in my bedroom, or whether it's part of my morning routine, evening routine, during the day, or multitasking, because we all need to do that too. It's amazing. But anyway, I am actually going to sit here until I finish my gorgeous cup of tea. I've got a few more bits and pieces that I want to do. And yeah, I'm thoroughly enjoying filling this out. I find these moments really exciting. I absolutely love it, because you can reevaluate and really focus on, like, we've got 4 months left of this year, guys. We've got so much to do, and trust me when I say I have got some mega things in the pipeline that you lot are going to literally lose your mind over. You know that one big thing that I promised you guys that we were going to do this year? That might be in the pipeline, and that might be happening this year. And we're trying to work really, really hard to get it across the line and figure out when we're going to do it this year. I don't want to give too much away, but for those of you who know, you know. And yeah, it's going to be epic. So I'm just going to really focus. I'm going to take 10 minutes more for myself, and yeah, just start to write some big things down. And as the head plan says, make it happen. How is it 6:25? How? I do not know. I do not know where the days go at the moment. I am going to make myself a mocktail. Bear with just a second. And then I am going to make a chicken red Thai curry. And I thought, do you know what? It's kind of like the first of the autumnal, like winter warmers. That sort of meal that's so homey, hearty, warm and scrumptious, and also super nutritious, healthy and delicious. And I just thought it's actually probably something we've never made together before, and a really, really easy recipe. But as I said, it's 6:25. I'm going to pour myself one of my favorite mocktails. Now, if you have been here for a while, you'll know that I love Beaver Farm. I still giggle at the fact that I called it Belvoir and they had to tell me that I was actually pronouncing the name of their brand wrong. Doesn't happen that often, but I still have a giggle about it. And this is one of my absolute faves. They do so many different cordials, and if you just want something that is so delicious and really refreshing, maybe you don't drink alcohol but you still want to have a drink that is bougie and delicious and really hits the spot, or if you're kind of doing the back to school, having a bit of a reset, and I don't know, a lot of people do, I think it's like dry September, I don't know, I'm not a massive drinker, but if you are looking for something because maybe you are doing a little bit of a dry stint, then I couldn't recommend this more. I have a little bit of San Pellegrino, always a glass straw, and then loads of ice, like so much ice, which seems a bit ridiculous actually, but oh, yum de la scrum. I've just been speaking to Jose. As Josie would say, yummarillo. Gosh, I love that girl. Right, that is absolutely, divine. Made with real root ginger, and it's got a real kick to it. It's got a bit of spice, which I love. So good. But I've also, I'm gonna move this to one side, had a couple of deliveries whilst I was in Belgium. I am so excited about this. So one of my darling girlfriends, Clementine, has the most amazing brand, Clementine and Mint. She does all of the headbands, you know, all of my gorgeous headbands, like my raffia headbands, and all the beautiful little roughly scalloped pouches that I have. I think I have one. I'll overlay some pictures here. I've got a gorgeous raffia one, I've got a pale blue one, I think they now do a yellow one, which is a must. And then I saw that she brought out her laptop covers, and I thought, oh, I need this. Kind of need some traveling laptop pouches for the company laptops. It's sacrilege. I've just been literally just putting the laptops like screeching on each other in my small case when we travel, and I saw these and I thought, oh, they're beautiful. And then for those of you who's probably already noticed, we've kind of like moved over and started putting all the new branding on kind of like the new vlogs, the promos. I think it's on like the header of the YouTube channel. I'm so proud of the new branding. I worked with the incredible Ellie at ERA, and I think it took about 6-8 months to just perfect it. And it is beautiful. I feel like it represents everything that Luxury by Leonora represents. Everything that both the company and also my personal branding represents. It's classic, it's timeless, it's delicate, but yet it's powerful, it's bold, it sends messages. If you read through the lines, it's just so special. It has Lily of the Valley, and there are so many different meanings behind the Lily of the Valley, and also Lily of the Valley is so special to me. I just absolutely love it. And so Clementine and Mint have a personalization service. And so, look at this. I mean, I've just destroyed it, so let me show you this one. Look at how beautifully this is gift wrapped. It is absolutely stunning. And how gorgeous would it be to like do this as a gift? And it is even more beautiful than I could have ever imagined. Oh my goodness, Clem. This is ridiculous. Oh my gosh, this is ridiculous. You are going to lose your minds. I feel like this is real like back to school stationery as well. Cue the most beautiful laptop pouch case you've ever seen in your life. How stunning is this? So it is a beautiful off-white, almost like linen number. And then you have this gorgeous, quite subtle beige stripe, the ruffled edge of Absolute Dreams. But the real moment, the showstopper, is the incredible branding. I've got my L by L. This is just so stunning. There's so many different accents in it as well, and all of the different branding and different assets that we use for different reasons. We've got the shields, which we took a lot of inspiration from my family signet ring, and then I really wanted Lily of the Valley in there. I thought it was really, really special, and again with the brand and all of the things hopefully in the future that we are aiming to achieve, it kind of gives a real nod to that as well. And then we finished the B. I'll also pop the branding on screen at some point so that you can see it really clearly. Obviously this has been embroidered with chocolate thread, but the bottom of the leaves of the Lily of the Valley finishes off the by. So obviously it's L by L, Luxury by Leonora. That is the husband coming in. Mark, you're gonna be so jealous. Come here. Come and look how cute these are.
I don't know.
They're my laptop pouches from Clem. Aren't they so gorgeous?
Oh, very nice.
Yeah.
From
so,
who?
Clem. So look at this. I don't know yet. I know. It's like my birthdays are still continuing.
They're beautiful, aren't
they gorgeous? So both laptops. You can hang on, come back. You gonna say hi?
Oh, I didn't realise everybody was there. Hi, everybody. Good job, I didn't say they were horrible, didn't they?
Yeah, good job you didn't say they're horrible. Because trust me, he does sometimes come in and be like, what on earth is that? Or sometimes I'll be wearing something that I think is so gorgeous and I feel like the bombing. He'll be like, Christ, that was tragic. I mean, he's so rude. Anyway, I'm over the moon with these. So we have two smaller laptops. It's actually my computer and Anushka's, and then they're literally just about to launch. I think this is what they call the 14-inch, and they're just about to launch the 16-inch. As soon as that drops, I shall also be ordering that for the third laptop. Oh, isn't that gorgeous? They're so stunning. I would highly, highly, highly recommend. And then they're also beautifully padded. It's gorgeous. You've got like a little bit of padding just to make sure that they're protected. Also got a little bit of Velcro, and there's an inner sleeve as well. And it's just the most gorgeous material. This is stunning. My gosh, I can see these like absolutely selling out. So be quick. They do also come in lots of different colors as well. Oh, I love them. And then what do we have in here? Oh, dearest Leonora. Meet Lip Creme, our most sustainable swipe yet. Housed in a 100% aluminium case, this sleek satin finish lipstick has been 4 years in the making. My wonderful Chantecaille family have sent me one of their new releases. This is so exciting. So this is all in aid to save the elephants. Look at this branding and the packaging. This is just gorgeous. Absolutely beautiful. So lipstick with a point of view. Their philanthropy is nothing short of remarkable. I wish I had I could talk for hours on what Chantecaille have done to save wildlife. From bumblebees to butterflies, elephants to cheetahs. It is absolutely unbelievable the amount of money raised and research that's gone into creating and saving the wildlife. It's really quite astonishing. And then here, I am very lucky. Oh, what do we have? I'm not quite sure how to open this without... Come on, Leonora. Should know how to unbox things by now. Here we go. Ooh. Ooh. Gorgeous few little bits and bobs. So, as always, the packaging of a Chantecaille product is elite. Oh, look at this. Oh, it's like a little stopwatch. It's a little compact mirror. You guys can see yourselves. Where are you? Da-da-da. There you are. Oh. That's so gorgeous. Oh wow, that zoomed in. Oh wow. Wow. You can see the damage that I did to myself last night. But already, my Omnilux has completely taken down all the redness. So you've got like a magnifying mirror and then a little mirror. I love these sorts of things. I feel so put together. Like I have got my life together. I've got my ducks in a row. When I like take out little nifty devices like this out of my handbag, I'm like, yeah, get me, I've got my little mirror. Whereas normally I'm like doing my lip liner in the camera of my phone because I don't have a mirror. So I'm gonna put my mirror and then look at the front of it. It is, gosh, it's gonna be really quite tricky to show you the front, but it's beautifully frosted. I don't know whether you can see that, the stunning African tree and a family of little elephants. Hopefully you can see that and not just the reflection of you guys, but that is so wonderful. And then here we have the Chantecaille lip creme. This is in Plumeria. I think it's going to be such a gorgeous colour for this time of year. Beautiful packaging, again the same, frosted with the elephants. And that tree, isn't that stunning? And then on the inside, oh, that's beautiful. What a stunning shade. I'm going to do quite a large swatch that you guys can see it. That is gorgeous. And what I love the most about Chantecaille is the ingredients that they use. It's literally skincare for your lips, even when using a lipstick. That is gorgeous. I'm gonna put that straight into my makeup bag because I will most certainly be using that. Now this is Rose Myrtle. Let's see what this is like. Maybe this is like a slightly pinkier shade. I love that color. I can't get over that. That's beautiful. And then this color, ooh, that is gorgeous. I feel like that's gonna be slightly darker. That is a little bit more of like a dark rose. I'd say that's actually a little bit more of like a plummy color than the other. So this is the slightly lighter color, and then this is the Rose Myrtle. That is beautiful and stunning for this time of year. My gosh, those are gorgeous. That's actually one of the last things I'm gonna do. Last things I'm going to do? That's a bit dramatic, Leonora. I really need to organize my makeup bag. It is a shambles. It is embarrassing how bad it is, but that is a private thing that I need to do because I'm ashamed of my makeup brushes and all the shiz, and my makeup bag has finally given in. I've crushed so much stuff in it that the zip's now gone and I'm devastated. But I'm going to do a big clear out, a big clean, kind of take out all the products that I never use and put in, make space for gorgeous new bits and bobs. And then this is the Precision Lip Brush. How nifty is that? Oh my God, I'm obsessed. It like ejects out. I'm lost for words. That is so cool. I'm not gonna be able to contain myself. I'm gonna be like just chilling and then get my lipstick out and then go. This is so cool! So as you have probably already guessed, the lip creme collection is all about raising awareness and money that goes towards the elephant families in Northeast Asia. It's also about raising awareness about what's happening to these beautiful animals, and they are donating £10 of every sale to the foundation and raising awareness. They've got lots of different initiatives whereby they're educating local people. They are making it safe for these beautiful animals to pass by local villages, and I just think it's the most unbelievable brand. Their passion for animals, the wildlife, Africa, Northeast Asia, all of these incredible animals that are endangered, they do their part. So really, it's beauty with a purpose, and not only can you guys make a difference, but you're buying a product that is unbelievable. They don't get more luxurious than Chantecaille, and that really lends itself from the very beginning to the very end. And I mean that from even buying on the website. It's a beautiful customer journey. all the way to receiving your products in stunning gift wrapping, amazing packaging, to the product itself being unbelievable. And when spending that money, you know that it's going to make a difference. And I think it's incredible. So what a gorgeous few deliveries. I'm so lucky. I'm going to keep these out. This can go away. Even my little nifty mirror, I love it. And actually, for those of you who are probably going to ask, the outfit of the day has been this. I've even got my little floofy nice cream London slippers on. I literally live in these. And can we talk about how it's like gone from like summer to winter? But this is like, oh, this is unreal. This is the loungewear. I think they call this the Sculpt. I'm not quite sure what they call this, but this is the Holland Cooper loungewear set. This is in chocolate and it's amazing. It is buttery soft, and just the way that it sculpts the whole board is insane. You can actually wear it as two separates, but I really love the little scoop neckline, and somehow it's really warm. I actually had a cashmere jumper on this morning and I got a bit warm, so it must have some form of like technology. Not only does it like sculpt you, keeps you warm. Love the color, perfect color for this time of year. So again, I'll leave the details to my outfit down below. But the husband has come over. He has got a little bit more work to do, doing like life min stuff this evening, and I have got a chicken red Thai curry to make. So let's make it together. Right, we are back where we started, I think, this morning. So I've just got everything out of the fridge, and it's definitely not a traditional red Thai curry. However, it's like a bit of a Leo twist. I love loads of like chunky vegetables in my curry, and I just feel like it's more filling and more satisfying, let's say. I love to use chicken thighs in a chicken curry. I just find them a lot more tender, they're soft, and so much more delicious. So I have got thigh, boneless and skinless chicken thighs. Then I'm also going to put in some mushrooms. I would normally get shiitake mushrooms, however Marcus did the supermarket run and he got us British chestnut mushrooms, which is perfect. You know me and aubergines. I have a wild relationship with aubergines. My body just craves them all the time. I love an aubergine in every which way, whether it's slow cooked with a miso, whether it's in pasta, whether it's just baked alone. Oh, just divine. So 100%. And the longer you cook it for, the softer and more delicious this remarkably underrated vegetable becomes. Anywho, depending upon how I feel, we might put a little bit of a courgette in the curry. Then sugar snap peas, I think I'm actually just going to use to snack on whilst we chat. However, I do have green beans, red chilies, garlic, ginger, Thai basil, bit of nampla fish sauce, tiny touch of chicken stock, and then the real star of the show here is the coconut milk. It makes it creamy and saucy. I appreciate that I'm eating like a cave woman right now. And then I have you can kind of make red Thai curry paste from scratch using lots of herbs. However, I don't have that much time this evening, and Bart has done it for me. So this is the red Thai curry paste for the love of food. Spicy. And you can make this as spicy as you wish. However, Mark is a bit of a princess, as we all know, and he can't do that much spice. So let's make this. So what I'm going to do first is do a little bit of prep, as always. I'm going to wash everything, cut everything up. I'm going to mince my garlic and my ginger, and I'm going to start off by putting that into a large, I like things to be a one-hit wonder, so I'm actually going to do it in my Le Creuset on the hob, and then if the Argo is on, but quite frankly, it's September and it's cold. So do you know what? I feel like this is a bit of a ceremonial situation. The time has come. It's peeing it down with rain for the next 5 months. It's freezing cold. Ta ta ta, ta 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 ta. The Arga is on. However, it's going to take a good day to warm up. But what I would tend to do if my Arga was on is then put it in the slow cooker and just let it just stew and get all succulent and moist and scrumptious. However, I don't have time for that this evening. So I'm just going to literally do it on the hob in the Le Creuset. And anyway, we're going to get a little bit of jasmine rice on the boil as well. Fluff it up with a fork and then serve dinner up. But as you can see, we've got to get it from this to a curry. So let's get a skedaddle on. Okay, so first things first, I've got my Le Creuset on the stove and I'm using my Citizens of Soil. I actually got this at Josie's wellness retreat that she did at Cumin Manor, and yeah, I've been using it and it's delicious, absolutely delicious. Extra virgin olive oil, and I'm going to let that just heat up. We're going to cook our garlic and ginger. It's going to be divine. Then this is really where you get all the flavour into the curry first. So I'm going to use a big wooden spoon, salt, pepper, and then I'm going to add in my red Thai curry paste, and then again let it cook. Let the garlic and the ginger really absorb the curry paste, and then we're going to pour in the coconut milk. Then you cook the chicken in the coconut milk. Literally, it's a one-pan wonder. All the flavours, all of those delicious flavours are going to literally stay in this pot until it goes into my mouth. So that's that. I'm going to use pretty much this whole little pot, 5 or 6 tablespoons, little spoon. But I'm going to let that, oh, I love the smell of red Thai curry paste. One thing I'm not a big fan on, I know it's really bizarre, I really do not like green Thai curry. There's something about the smell and the taste, ugh. I don't know why. I eat absolutely everything, but one thing that I'm just not a really big fan of is green Thai curry. I just can't wait for anyway, we're in the homey season now. I can't wait to make all the gorgeous stews and make all the vol au vents and the delicious casseroles from the duck and really different things like duck and rabbit and pigeon and guinea fowl and really delicious game meats. Oh my gosh, I've got so many recipes I can't wait to share with you. Recipes that we've been making as a family for donkey's years. I've grown up eating and making, and yeah, I can't wait. One of them is bizarre, but the dumplings in a chicken casserole. A lot of people are like, ugh, but they're so yummy. They're basically stuffing balls, and they go all gooey and delicious, and ugh, gosh, I can't wait. We're gonna have to do that together because I feel like you guys will love that too. So one thing just to make sure is that you don't burn your garlic at this stage, and it will sort of snizzle and go golden quite quickly. So it's just best to keep it on the move, as you can see. And then I'm going to put 5 or 6 generous teaspoons of this curry paste in. Yeah, I'm going to use this whole thing. Turn it down a little bit. Good thing I'm not wearing white. However, I think I will. I need to do a little bit of an order Order. Chicken Thai curry has commenced. I need to do an order of like autumnal homey stuff. I feel like you guys will love that and I'm in desperate need of it. I need like a really cute autumnal pinny. Oh gosh, that is really going everywhere. Cute bits and bobs for the kitchen, like mugs. I want to invest in a really gorgeous pumpkin mug. Anything with sausages on it, you know me, obsessed. Right, I'm gonna let that just come together. Turn it down a little bit. Doesn't need to be spitting. Otherwise I'm gonna make a right mess. Okay, and then we're gonna add in our coconut milk. Just before the coconut milk, I'm gonna add in my gorgeous aubergines, just so that again, they can absorb that delicious curry paste and that they can actually get a little bit of color and cook down before they get all gorgeous and soft and moist in the coconut milk. In go the courgettes. Time for the coconut milk. Second one is going in. I'd highly recommend just taking the top off, making a little hole so that the liquid can come out, because you get all of this gorgeous coconut cream, sort of like thick coconut cream on the top. So if you've never used coconut milk before, don't be alarmed when you open it up. It has this delicious coconut cream on the top of it, and it's important to try and get all of that last little morsels out, because that's what's going to add the sort of thickness and the real creaminess to this delicious curry. I enjoy a little bit of it. This is so yummy. I don't feel like I really use coconut milk enough. It's such an incredible ingredient. So many recipes, both savory and sweet, but we have got an orchard full of apples and plums. So over the next couple of weeks we are going to be foraging and making everything under the sun. So buckle up. It's going to get very food and recipes and baked apple pie and apple crumble and apple stew and compotes, and we are going to eat plums until our hearts are content. And maybe the plums might get things moving, if you know what I mean. Right, I'm gonna let that come to a simmer, and whilst that comes to a simmer, I'm gonna prep my chicken. I'm just going to cut it into slightly more edible sizes. It's currently still in fly form, and you can do sort of like slightly more like longer strands. You can cut it up into chunks, sort of 1 to 2 centimeter chunks, I would suggest. And then we're going to put the chicken in, and it's going to almost like simmer within the coconut milk and all of those delicious flavors. And trust me, it's succulent and delicious. I'm going to add the green beans just because they take a little bit longer to cook, as well as the mushrooms. In they go. So the curry is bubbling away, and I'm now going to put the chicken in. Ugh, I know there's nothing worse than looking at raw chicken. So I'm going to pop that in and then leave it to cook, probably around about 12 to 15 minutes. You just want to make sure that it is cooked all the way through. And I'm going to turn it down so it's not so fiercely boiling, a little bit more of a simmer. PJs are officially on. I've got my LilySilk numbers on, and they are so gorgeous. They are so soft and has almost like catapulted themselves to the top of my favorite PJ list. And let me tell you, I take my PJs extremely seriously. Can we also just have a moment for like how dark it is outside? We're not even at like the autumn equinox yet, and it's like dark outside at 8:15. But the curry is ready, and I have in the meantime just steamed up some gorgeous jasmine rice, just fluffed it up a little bit. And then our curry, I've actually just taken it completely off the heat and just letting it really relax, and that way the chicken can get all of those delicious flavors, and it's going to be super soft and so delicious. So I'm going to plate up food. We're going to hit the sofa with the sausages and the husband. We started watching a movie last night. It's got like Pierce Brosnan. It's got just the most unbelievable cast of different actors. I'll leave the details. It's something like The Murder Club. It's so funny, it's brilliant. Mark was asleep in 2 seconds, but he sleeps through absolutely everything. And it's all about this like murder mystery of the chap who got murdered, who owns the retirement place that they live, and it's so funny. So if you want a hysterical comedy with, quite honestly, some of the best actors out there of all time, highly recommend. We'll leave the details. It's on Netflix. But anyway, I'm going to quickly plate it up. I'll show you what the final plate looks like. If I had Thai basil, I would decorate the garnish. And there we go. That is our delicious red chicken Thai curry. If I had the Thai basil, it would be a garnish for the top, but I don't. It doesn't look desperately appetizing, but it's going to be absolutely delicious. Bon appetit.